behind and you're on front row.
I do agree with the Scott Pack that you're going to be recommended by Chief Rozelle tonight. The one thing when we had our spec meeting that every fireman that was at the meeting wanted was the voice amps. I realize that's a large expense. It's going to increase the cost by $58,000 to buy all the voice amps. But I think it's that important that we have the voice amps for communications. It's hard enough to understand someone when you're standing next to them in an air mask without the voice amps. With the voice amps, that improves that communications. We need to have some kind of resolution to get that to where we're going to either have a plan in place to purchase those voice amps over the next few years or something, I think, to make that acceptable.
Thanks, Chief. Thanks, Steve. Item number 8. I missed our PowerPoint where everybody can see what it is, but we were asked for sealed bids for 166 Air Paks from three companies. There was a RFP put out for that, and there was 3 bids, and again, sealed bids. There were several of us that met at the office, and I had I had the opportunity to open up each sealed envelope. And so the bids were from Casco, from MES, and Metro Fire. Terry, do you want to say something about the bids? What was actually bid, or how it was bid out on the specs?
Well,
and what was not included? And
about, when was it, March? Somewhere in March, we had a meeting. I had all 3 representatives from the 2 that represented Scott and the 1 that represented MSA. They came to the office. They made a presentation of the Air Pak. I had a representative from nearly every department in the county. When we left out of there, we had made the decision of which Air Pak we would like to have, be it MSA or Scott. MSA had a factory rep, and they had their maintenance person. They did not have a salesperson at this meeting. So all the questions that we were asking the factory rep, he would give us his best guess of what the answer was, such as if we took the voice amp off, how much would we save? And he would say, you're probably not going to save over 20 or 30 bucks a pack. Okay, that's negligible. So we drew up this spec for the MSA, and we told them, okay, hold that and get it to the salesman for MSA. For Scott, we actually had the SCBA spec sheet that I sent out to the 2 vendors for Scott. They were able to look at this spec sheet and bid according to this spec sheet. We had, well, let me go ahead, let me qualify a couple of things before we get into the cost here. After we received the MSA Air Pak and the Scott Air Pak as we had designed it in this meeting in March, we received it, I don't know, I think it was like the first part of April, I think it was, or maybe the end of March. Anyway, we carried them around to each department that wanted to, and they evaluated each pack. And after all the departments that requested it and evaluated it, they decided that they would like the Scott Pack over the MSA Pack. And this was before we got the bids because we were waiting for the sealed bid. So we just held that thought. And like I said, on the 13th, we opened the bids at 2 o'clock. And Casco was the highest bid. And then MES was the next highest bid. And Metro was the lowest bid. So we decided, we would request that we purchase from Metro Fire because they were the low bid. As far as the question about the voice amps, I have requested additional money for the SCBA to purchase a small quantity of voice amps, because they're like nearly $500 a piece. And at 166 Air Packs, you're talking about a substantial amount of money. So that will be something that we will buy on the side from our quote, and the vendors understood that. So we are looking at that, and we will rectify that. But any questions I can answer on it. I mean, everybody's pretty much unanimous on the Scott SCBA.
Well, the bottom line, you put out an RFP. The RFP submitted by Metro, the low bidder, met the requirements under the RFP.
Right.
And also has the preferred brand of Air Pak whatsoever. So I don't see any reason to accept any bid except the low bidder in this case, because it meets our bid specs.
Right.
One fast question, I'm fine with accepting Metro, the low bid. The high bid is almost $150,000 higher than the low bid, and your second place bid is only $600 off of your lowest bid. Any idea why Casco was so much higher? Thoughts?
It's a different brand, Air Pak. The other two are Scott, and that's an MSA. It's a different brand. So we matched up as close as we can, but after testing, it was decided that we did not want MSA for other reasons that I'm not going to go into now, but there were some issues that we run across on MSA, so you know, we didn't want MSA anyway, so it ended up a higher bid.
And this is what we talked about in our meeting last month about a grant to help purchase these for the part of the purchase price. If you remember our meeting last month from them. Okay. Any further discussion on item number 8? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve Metro is the low bidder. Okay. All right. Earl makes the motion. Mr. Perryman seconds the motion. Okay. Gentlemen, all in favor of approving Metro for the sealed bids for the Air Packs, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.